Well, despite critics saying it can't be done, Speaker Paul Ryan is pushing for tax reform this year, says he's confident this Congress can make it happen. Listen.
We are going to fix this nation's tax code once and for all. You will hear that tax reform is coming along one day. Then you will hear that tax reform is dead. Do not be surprised by any of this. We are going to get this done in 2017. You know why we're going to get this done in 2017? Because we have to get this done in 2017.
We need the money. Here now, Republican Congressman Mark Meadows from North Carolina. He is the chairman of the House Freedom Caucus. Congressman, great to see you. Let me first talk about something that Paul Ryan didn't talk about, which is the border adjustment tax. Did they finally get the message from the folks outside the Beltway that we don't want a new tax?
Well, I can tell you that I don't know that the message has been fully received, but it is almost home. I can tell you in talking to administration officials today, we're all starting to coalesce around the fact that much of what Speaker Ryan talked about today has to get done, and I would say needs to get done before we leave in August. But additionally, those tax cuts and making sure that the border adjustment tax in terms of a pay for is not part of it, I think is ultimately where we'll be.
Well, just to put a final point on it, have you heard anything? Has either Paul Ryan's office or somebody from the White House said something to you guys in Congress about whether they're finally laying off the border adjustment tax?
Well, we have had multiple conversations, not only with the Speaker, but with the White House, as you mentioned. I think there is an agreement that we need to move beyond the border adjustment tax and not just have it offset. We're all about permanent tax cuts, but whether it's it expires in 9 years or we open the budget windows to 20 years, we're all about making it work. So I can tell you that the border adjustment tax is really dead, and it's up to us to make sure that we put forth a proposal that does what we said we would do earlier.
Sounds like a nail in the coffin. Let's talk about doing different taxes at the same time. We'd heard at one point that they were just going to focus on corporate taxes. Now I was happy to hear Paul Ryan mention that 8 of 10 businesses in the United States are unincorporated and that they pay taxes just on the individual basis. So individual tax cuts along with corporate tax cuts, they're going to be paired together, right?
Without a doubt. There's not going to be one without the other. I can tell you there's not the attitude or the appetite here on Capitol Hill to do one without the other. And as you mentioned, it's got to get all the way down to Main Street. And a lot of those are sole proprietorships or sub-S's. And so we have made an agreement that whatever we do will actually flow through and be comprehensive. You know, we want to go bold, but we also need to make sure that we make sure that this is the last time we have to deal with it for a very long time.
Now, there's also these procedural issues. The one thing that he mentioned about the tax cuts that he wants are going to be permanent tax cuts, but nothing is permanent inside the Beltway. I remember they said that the Reagan tax cuts were permanent. Bill Clinton came in office and got rid of a lot of them.
Well, they did. I mean, each Congress is going to make a decision. I think what he's referring to is the procedural hurdles that would say that they have to expire in 10 years in order to make it through the Byrd rules in the Senate. Well, if we remember the Bush tax cuts, 96% of those stayed and were indeed permanent. And so whether it's making sure they expire there so that we can be as aggressive as we can on the front end, we're committed, conservative, moderates, as well as those in the Senate, to make sure that we get it done. I'm hopeful that we put something on the president's desk in September.
Congressman Meadows, let's hope it comes through. We all need a little tax cut. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Melissa.
Thank you, Dana.
Here now is